Hey everyone, my name is Emerson Gagnon and I'm a contractor at the R2 Performance Center at Fort Knox, which is part of the Army Resilience Directorate. And today I want to talk to you about a topic called imagery. You might have heard of it used synonymously with visualization. The thing is with imagery though, it's not just what you see or what you picture in your head. You're incorporating all your senses, and I'll get into this a little later. But there are several benefits and uses of using imagery, whether it be a particular performance or in your daily life. Sports psychologists often use imagery as a tool to help increase performance in an individual. And the foundation that sports psychologists operate from is that your thoughts impact your feelings and your emotions, which will impact your physical state, and that is going to impact your performance. So how you perform starts with how you think. So how does imagery work anyway? Well, researchers long ago tried to figure out what is the connection that we have between our mind and our body. And what they did was they took a lot of Olympic athletes, particularly some downhill skiers, and they hooked them up to electrodes to measure any muscle movement or any electricity in that particular athlete's muscles. And so what they had them do is sit down and they said, imagine going through your downhill ski course, obviously while not moving. They're sitting comfortably in a chair. And what they found was that there were muscles firing, even though they weren't moving at all, but just thinking of that particular run. And they actually mirrored the exact run they went down, and they saw more muscle movement firing on the turns in that course, like it would had they physically been doing it. So what they found was, when you imagine a performance, similar neural pathways are activated between the brain and the muscles. Now the crazy thing about that is that the brain doesn't distinguish between a real stimuli and an imagined stimuli. Now, we're not just saying, oh, well, I'm just going to imagine running and I'll get all the benefits from it. No, it doesn't work like that. You can't beat the physical execution of doing that particular performance. However, there's a lot of research that suggests that doing imagery is better than doing nothing at all, and it will help you increase your performance. And athletes who combine imagery and physical practice have even further increased results than those who only do one. So there's a catch though. To get the benefits of imagery, the image you create in your mind has to be powerful. You ever had a dream that you thought was real, and then maybe you woke up in a sweat or a panic? Your brain responded to such a powerful image, and your body has a physical reaction to that. Now, it's not easy to create such powerful images on demand. It takes practice. And so 3 ways to work on strengthening your imagery is through controllability, vividness, and perspective. Controllability is important because if you can't actually see yourself doing the task successfully, then it's going to be very hard to do it physically. So, it's important to have a successful image in your mind and be able to control it. Another way to strengthen your imagery is being as vivid as possible. Be as detailed when imagining those thoughts and those images in your head. Athletes and performers in particular, a lot of them will write out a script for that particular performance or even that entire day. So what are the things that you're seeing? But also, what are you hearing? Is there a crowd that you have to take into account that could be distracting? Maybe you're at a range and you hear other shots going off. What do you smell? What do you taste? I know those might be some senses that you don't think about as much while you're doing that performance, but they're still going on. So maybe you have the taste of sweat. Maybe you smell that sweat. Maybe you have a particular snack that you eat before that performance. And also, what are you feeling? Both physically and emotionally. Are you on a court? Or are you on grass, pavement? Is it hot out? Are you inside? Is it cold? Are you tense? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Think of these when you're creating those images in your mind. And the last thing I want to do is talk about perspective. When you're creating these images, particularly about yourself, and you're performing a task, do you see yourself having an external perspective and like a third person point of view, or do you see it through your eyes, having an internal point of view, first perspective? And this can make a difference, particularly when you're trying to perform a new task, or maybe you're just rehearsing a task. And those who are masters of imagery can go between the two. Now, there's a lot of benefits to using imagery. First off is when you can't physically get those repetitions in. Imagery is a great way to get extra reps while still doing something that can help increase your performance. Particularly like right now during the COVID-19 outbreak. You can't go outside and physically maybe get those reps that you would like to, but you can stay inside and use deliberate imagery and create these powerful images, and still, your muscles are still going to fire, not as much as you would do physically, but you're still getting something out of it than doing nothing at all. Another benefit to using imagery is when resources may not be available or the particular task might be dangerous. Think of the Blue Angels, when they fly those jets. I'm not sure how much it costs to fly one of those, but I'm assuming it's not cheap. And they actually have a whole script that they'll go through and every little thing that they're going to do on that flight before they even take off. You can take into consideration overtraining though as well. Physically performing that task, you could risk an injury. Now, I'm not saying, again, always do the physical reps when you can, but if you're at an elite level and you have a set regimen and you don't want to go over that regimen, but you still want to get more reps in, maybe help your confidence, imagery training is a great way to supplement that physical training. There's a lot more I could talk about on imagery, so if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. And check out some of the other great resources that the Army Resilience Directorate has on their Facebook page and Twitter page. That's all I have for today, though. Everyone, have a great day. Stay safe out there.